Hey guys, how are you? So today we are going to talk about strobing. So strobing, what really does it mean? It's highlighting, isn't it? It's just a fancy term for highlighting. So I guess there was a lot happening with contouring and highlighting, and then the trends moved on, and now people are kind of a bit more focused just on highlighting the high points of the face. So high points of the face, what the hell? High points of the face. So the high points of the face are effectively the bits that kind of stick out. So the top of the cheekbone, the center of the nose, the cupid's bow, those kind of areas there. You could do a little bit through here in the middle of the eyebrows as well would be good. Also maybe a bit around the brow bone itself. So let's start with a little bit of strobing. So to start with, I've just got a little palette here and I've squeezed out some of my products. We're going to start with strobe cream from M.A.C. There we are, strobe cream. That's one of my all-time favorites. I mean, come on guys, strobe cream from M.A.C, strobing, kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So that's been around for ages. This is a product you can use as a primer. I guess most people would use it as a priming product. So it's quite hydrating. It's got a real kind of satin kind of finish. It's a little bit, it does have a kind of a sheen to it. It's, I guess, a little bit cooler, almost like a bluey kind of a pink undertone to it. But I love it. So I'm going to start with that. And I've got a beauty blender. And I've just picked it up on my beauty blender. And I'm going to literally just press it around the orbital bone, which again is fancy terminology for the bit that sticks out above your cheekbone. All right, and then we're going to do a little bit just down the bridge of the nose. Now, I'm well endowed on the nose front, I guess you would say. So yeah, I've got a big nose, all right? And I don't really want to highlight the bigness of the nose. So when I highlight, I'm not going to take it right down to the end here. I see lots of makeup artists that do that, or people who think they're makeup artists that do that. And they take the highlight right down to the end of the nose. So all that will do is emphasize the length of the nose. So with me, because my nose is bigger and it's longer and whatever, I just want to have a bit of light through the middle here, but not right down to here. Okay. I'm going to take it up a little bit just through the center of my forehead. And then we're just going to do the other side, the other orbital bone, or is the orbital bone one bone? I don't know. The other thing that you can do if you don't have a beard like myself is to do just across the cupid's bow and kind of those two lines that you get underneath the nose. That's really beautiful too. I always do that on my girls because most of my girls don't have a beard. Okay, so I do have a light on my phone, which is a torch, so you can just see a little bit more, I guess just a little bit more of the sheen. So one of the things I want to say about highlighting as well is I've noticed that some girls, I mean highlighting, look, okay, I digress. I get so excited on this subject. Highlighting has been so popularized when we look at the makeup that's coming out of LA. And of course, you know, I always talk about the Kardashians, but the Kardashians at the end of the day, love them or hate them, they are the modern icons of makeup. So we look to them for beauty makeup, okay? So I really study the way that they highlight their skin, or that they're makeup artists, and they have incredible makeup artists who work with them, who they're contouring and highlighting beyond belief. So beautiful. And they are, I guess, the kind of the vanguard of makeup, really, of highlighting and contouring. So everyone looks at their Instagram and looks at them on the TV show and everything, and you have to remember the way that they have been lit as well. So lighting is so important with beautiful highlighting, okay? And I see so many girls here in Sydney who they're obviously into their makeup and they love their highlighter, but they just get loads and loads of highlighter on a brush and kind of whack it on really heavily to get, or try to get, the effect of that lit kind of illuminated look that the Kardashians have. But remember guys, they are lit. They are lit by lighting technicians. They're on TV, it's for photo shoots, everything. So when you highlight yourself, I just want you to remember that the highlight has to catch the light naturally. Don't make it look, I mean, you might as well almost paint on a kind of a semicircle in a white paint if you're trying to create that look without the right lighting, okay? So it's all about how it's going to catch light. In natural light, sunlight is probably the best light to see highlighting and how it's going to glow and illuminate. Very passionate about that, aren't I? I can tell. I'm getting very kind of animated. Anyway, so I've done my strobe, pressing a little bit more in for good measure. The next product I've got, this is from M.A.C. So M.A.C, that's not like a high-end makeup. They're good though. They've got some really good colours and I feel they're really on trend. But they're very reasonable. So we have them in Australia. We retail them in Target. M.A.C retails in Target rather. So it's more of a drugstore kind of makeup than premium. This is called Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in number 2, which is a bit more of a kind of a golden shade, I guess, because I like to stay a bit more on the tan side of life. So again, using my same beauty blender. See how I'm taking it as well, sort of around the brow. That's what I noticed studying the Kardashians, that a lot of their highlighting kind of went right up around here. And it was beautiful. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a bit of that for myself, for my girls. I'm not the best, to be honest with you. Look, I'm doing this for you guys, but being a little bit more on the vintage side of life, my skin is not ideal for highlighting. They always say when you're a bit older, you shouldn't really highlight. I don't know. I think that's a little bit depressing. Can't we have a little bit of sparkle and a bit of gleam in our life at all ages, or at every age? But then I did hear someone say it looks like fish scales. That's so funny. Fish scales are quite pretty though, aren't they? Wrinkled skin with a highlight looks like fish scales. Okay, whatever. Okay, let me get my torch again. So you can see, Beauty Blender's really important as well, I think, for Beauty Blender. Oh my God, I love the Beauty Blender. Because it gives you that really kind of seamless finish. And one thing I really hate about highlighting as well is when you see a really solid line between the highlight and the contour. Wow, beautiful. Okay, the final thing I'm going to do, we'll dust on a little bit of powder. This is a loose eye dust. This is from Napoleon Powders, which is an Australian brand. The colour is called Starlight. So again, it's not a white one because I am a little bit more tan, and I like to keep more of that kind of goldeny, kind of bronzy kind of highlight for me rather than a very white one. So highlighting, of course, is going to be a bit lighter than your actual skin tone. That is the principle of highlighting. I've got a fan brush. It's a bit of a funny fan brush, really wide, isn't it? I don't know where I found that. But anyway, I've picked up some of my loose dust. I'm going to dust off the excess on the back of my hand. Okay, because I don't want it all going on my face. And then literally I'm holding the fan brush at the end of the brush, and I'm really lightly going to dust around. And again, just through the middle. And I want your touch to be super, super light with this, because it's meant to be it's like a candle glow, just illuminated and beautiful. It's not a hard, solid line of makeup. Okay. All right. Well, hey, see? That's pretty, huh? Oh wow, I love it. Okay, so I hope that kind of gives you an idea of how to strobe like a boss. I was going to do a bit of contouring, but I think we've run out of time. I don't want to bore you senseless, so we can do something like that next time. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's shed a little bit of light on strobing and highlighting. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.